Start. Okay. Now welcome to this another semiconductor physics lab session. On today we have to perform the another interesting experiment related to the XRD. Okay. So in this XRD method, as you know that we have to perform our experiment with the aim. So the aim is to calculate the lattice cell parameter from the X-ray diffraction data. Okay. So here the full form of your X-ray diffraction is said to be the XRD, or simply the XRD experiment is said to be the X-ray diffraction. Now, so as you know that the aim that will start to calculate the lattice cell parameter from the X-ray diffraction data. So here in case of X-ray diffraction data, what will we have to do? We have to find out the lattice parameter and interatomic distance with the help of this X-ray diffraction. And I want to inform you that in this case of experiment or experimental procedure, here basically we don't have to perform the experiment, but basically we have to calculate the readings and we have to just verify our calculation with the given data. So it is not the experiment that you can perform with the help of instruments. We have to only verify our data. Now come to the apparatus required part. So here in case of apparatus required, we have the powder X-ray diffraction diagram and the related formulas. So here, as you know that in case of crystal structure, we have the different kind of crystal structures like simple cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic or other kind of crystals and their structures. So we have to use the lattice cell parameters and interplanar distance in order to find out our crystals. Okay, so for the interplanar distance and the interatomic distance, as per your manual, we have the two different formulas, the A as the lattice parameter and D the interplanar distance. So the A, that is said to be the lambda upon 2 sin theta under root h square plus k square upon L square in angstrom, and D as an interplanar distance, we have the A upon under root h square plus k square upon L square. Okay, where A, as I told, it is the lattice parameter, D is the interplanar distance, lambda the wavelength of the CU K alpha radiations, okay, that will be using when we have to take select any crystal, and HKL are the Miller indices. So here I want to mention you that what is the lattice constant, okay, or what is the lattice constant or simply the lattice parameter. So simply the lattice parameter that will refer to the physical dimension of the unit cell of a crystal lattice. Suppose, as you know, for any 3 dimension for any kind of structure as a x, y and z, we have the lattice parameters that will be represented for all 3 directions as a x, y and z, or simply it can be represented like you that it is okay. So it is like this. So if we have this x, y and z, then respectively we have the a, b and c as per our lattice parameter. So the lattice parameters are also be said to be the lattice constant and they will be represented as a, b and c. Okay, so suppose if we have the x side, we have the a, it is represented by the a, y it is b and z side it is c, and with respect to that, if what will be the angles, we have to use accordingly. Okay, but that is a different part. Okay, that will be represented in terms of this alpha, beta and gamma. So for this a side we have used alpha, beta and gamma also. Okay, but now we have come to the second point, that is said to be the interatomic distance. So the atomic spacing refer to the distance between the nuclei of the atoms in materials that are said to be the interatomic distance. So the space is externally large as compared to the size of the atomic nucleus, and it is related to the chemical bond also. Okay, so that will be the interatomic distance which we have to use. Okay, now as per, if we come to the principal part, so simply the principle that will be mentioned here, the Bragg's law, that will be on theoretical basis. With the help of Bragg's law we can use this X-ray diffraction, and then we can find out our X, H and L square values, that is said to be the values for the Miller indices. Okay, now so in case of Miller indices, what we have, in your manual, the different values of H square, K square, L square for the different planes that are given. It means the H, K, L that will represent you the different plane as per the different dimensions. It means X, Y, Z, or simply in terms of lattice parameter as a B and C. Okay, so that will be represented in terms of H, K and L, and they have the different values. So if we have the different values as a 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, so with respect to that, what will be the values of H square, K square and L square? So suppose if we have the plane 1, 0, 0, we have the 1 value. 1, 1, 0, we have 2 values. So likewise this, we have the values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like 8, and here we have 9, 10, 11, 12 up to the 17. Okay, so what will be this XRD method and how this can be used? So for this I simply want to mention here, if we use this XRD or X-ray diffraction, okay, so the crystal structure that will be identified with the help of the XRD method. Okay, so the crystal structure, because the crystal structure to a large extent that will determine the property of X-ray diffraction, and X-ray diffraction is considered to be one of the number experimental tool that is used to identify the structure of the crystal solids. All type of solids we have to use or we have to identify with the help of XRD. So the XRD pattern, the product of the XRD experiment that are somewhat like the fingerprint in that of, they are unique to the material in order to examine the crystal structure. So the information in an XRD pattern is the direct result of the two things. First one, the size and the shape of the unit cell, which determine the relative positions of the different peaks, and also the atomic positions within the unit cell, which determine the relative intensities of the different peaks as per the structures. Okay, so taking these two things into account, we can calculate the size and the shape of the unit cell from the position of the XRD peak, and when we determine the position of the atom in the unit cell from the intensities of the diffraction peaks, we can able to find out our result. So full identification of the crystal structure is a multi-step process that will consist of the XRDs or XRD peak position. So what will be the steps? There are 3 steps that are involved. The first one, calculate the size shape of the unit cell from the XRD peak position, and second one, computation of number of atoms per unit cell from the size and shape of the cell, that is the chemical composition and all kind of measured intensities, and the third one is to determine the atom position from the relative intensities of the XRD peak. Okay, and when we will here only concern basically the first one in order to find out the size and shape of the unit cell from the XRD peak position, as we are going to study. Okay, so in case of indexing the diffraction pattern or in case of using the diffraction pattern, we have to find out the diffraction pattern that will be find out from the XRD. So as we have the XRD pattern that will be find out for the crystal or a given crystal, and accordingly we will able to find out our calculations. Okay, so basically I have told all these things. Why? Because the concept related to the XRD that is known to you, how the important of this XRD pattern is. Okay, so for XRD pattern, as it is mentioned in your procedure, that we have to have all these things related to the theta values and sin square theta values and related aspect, but I have explained how to find out this, and for this we have to only mention here as per the observation table. So here the observation table which is mentioning here, that have the values, that is based on the values of h square, k square, l square for the different planes. So here in the table we have the 2 theta sin square theta, 1 into sin square theta upon sin square theta minimum, into 2 into sin square theta upon sin square theta minimum. Again the same thing, multiply by 3, values of h square, k square, l square, HKL, A and D. So here all the related data that will be provided to you, and step by step the calculation that is also be mentioned here. Only you have to verify by your own calculation, and at last we have to find out A as a lattice parameter and D as the interatomic distance. Okay, so for this we have, with the help of all these things, we have to find out which kind of crystal is there or which kind of crystal structure is there. Okay, so for that we have to take an example of our working example, and that working example for which we have the working example as a aluminium. Okay, so here we have to just take the aluminium as our sample, and with respect to this aluminium sample we have to find out our calculations. So here if you can see this in this picture, the XRD pattern for the aluminium which is given here. Okay, and if you can see this graph, this is the XRD peak. Okay, this is the complete XRD peak. This is the complete XRD peak. So in this XRD peak we have the values, as you see here, all these are said to be the peaks. So this graph of this aluminium crystal with the help of XRD, that will be collected by using a CUK, yani ki CUK alpha radiation. With the help of CUK alpha radiation with a wavelength of lambda that is equal to 1.540, if we have incident over the aluminium crystal, we have to find out this XRD pattern. And here this XRD pattern graph, that will be presented in terms of intensity versus 2 theta. Okay, intensity versus 2 theta. So here the all peaks that will be represented by the two different values. Okay, two different values. So this is here 38.43 comma 100. So this 100 is the place where the intensity that will be calculated, and the first part is considered in terms of the theta. Okay, through which we can able to find out our sin theta. So you can see here is the values, here is the values, here is the values, here is the values. So all have the two different values. Okay, the first value we have to take as a theta, and the second we have to consider as a intensity values. So how we can able to just calculate or verify this? So for this we have to come to the next page, and here the step by process that will be presented. It means ki first we have to identify the peaks, determine as a second step we have to determine the sin square theta, then calculate the ratio of sin square theta upon sin square theta minimum. Okay, multiply by the appropriate integers and select the result from the 3. It means ki from this we have to find out the all 3 dimensions. Okay, so maximum known dimension is 3, so that's why the 3 multiply by this value, that will be represented you the Miller indices as a h square, k square and l square. Compare this result and identify the Bravais lattice. It means we have to calculate the HKL values and related parameters. So now we have to start one by one. So as you see here, I have mentioned here the 1. So in case of 1, I have noted down as per our observation table, first point is 2 theta. So here I have to mention all the point related to the peaks. Okay, so here I have told that we have to take the first reading. Okay, and this first reading is said to be the 2 theta. So for all the points for all the points, it means कि suppose if we take second point we have 44.67, likewise this we have 65.02, all these are said to be the peaks. Okay, so we have to take the peaks. So I have noted down the peak into the 2 theta part. Okay, now we have to find out, in a next step we have to find out the sin square theta. So how we can take as a second step, as you see here, determine the sin square theta. So we have to take from the 2, we have the value of 2 theta, we have to take theta, and then we have to find out easily the sin square theta. So here again the values are given. Okay, so I have told you that all the values are given, only you have to verify as per your own calculator and as per your own calculation. So here it is all the values that are given. Now in terms of third step, so again in case of third step we have the calculation ratio of sin square theta upon sin square theta minimum. Okay, so it means कि this is the value for sin square theta. So if we have this sin square theta value, then this is the value for which the sin square theta is considered to be the value of sin square theta, and as a first value this is the minimum value for its own value. So that's why if we divide this value to again this value, this will become as a 1. But if we go to the next peak, then now this is the value of sin square theta, and what will be the minimum? So definitely for which is the minimum? This is the minimum. So we can divide this value to this value, and then we can find out the value of this theta 1 into sin square theta upon sin square theta minimum value. So likewise we have to find out all the values. If we find out all the values, simply the next column that will represent you the 2 and 3, multiply by 2 and multiply by 3. Okay, so multiply by 2, multiply by 3. So it means कि simply we have to multiply same value by the 2 and by the 3, by the 2 by the 3, and we have to find out the value. So this value is considered to be the maximum dimension known value, and with the help of this we can represent our h square, k square, l square. So here in the next step we have to complete all the 3 dimensions up to 3, and then we have to represent the value of h square, k square and l square. So here if we see, then we have to consider this maximum value for all 3 dimensions. So this dimension value that will be represented here in a same way, because this will represent the exact value of h square, k square, l square. So 3, 4, 8, 11, 12, 15, 15.9 as a 16, 18.9 as a 19, 19.9 as a 20. And then now after getting this value we have to find out the HKL planes. Okay, so this HKL plane that will be given in your manuals. Okay, so if we simply show you the manuals, okay, so here we have the manuals with respect to this, and as I told that this is the value. So here we have 9, we have 8, we have 11, we have 12 or related that. Okay, so that's why we have to simply put the values related to this, and this will be presented here. Okay, so what will be the values as per the respective plane? We have to take from the manual and write it. Now we have to calculate the A. Okay, so A as a lattice parameter that have a formula of A that is equal to lambda upon 2 sin theta under root h square, k square, l square. So if we put the values respectively, okay, for each and every plane, then we have to find out the values. So again you see we have the calculation here. This is the final result. Okay, so again you don't have to perform, but you have to verify the calculation. So here you can see 4.05, 4.05, the values are same, only the last 2 digits are somehow different. So simply the first result is given to you. Okay, but how we can find out the D? So D, it means the interatomic distance. So for the interatomic distance D, we have the A upon h square, k square and l square values. So by putting the value of A and h square, k square, l square with our table, we have to simply find out the values of D respectively. But remember कि lattice parameter that have always be same value, and that's why the crystal have the same structure, but the interatomic distances that may vary, and definitely it will coming with by the different kind of values, all have the different values. So always keep remember that we have to find out the D, and D always have the different values, but A as a lattice parameter, that always find out as a same kind of values. Okay, so with the help of this we can easily determine, as you see here, we can easily determine our values, and if we take the average we can find out the average lattice cell parameters as a this one 4.0539 angstrom, and likewise we have to find out our D as an interatomic distance. As I told, for D we have the value of A upon under root h square k square L square value, so we have to find out D, and D have the different values. So with the help of this we can able to find out which kind of crystal is ours. So if we use this aluminum crystal, then accordingly if we take the parameter as per the lattice determination, so we have the primitive P lattice, body centered or face centered lattices. So accordingly which kind of lattice we have, so as per the values finding out, we have the aluminum crystal. So what will be the shape of aluminum crystal? So for this simply you can see here कि for this, as per the values, we have the values of primitive, body centered, face centered and diamond cubic. So here what will be the values of HKL, which is more closer to our this aluminum crystal. So here the values are coming like 3, 4, 8, 11, 12, 16, 19. So on this basis we can say कि our aluminum crystal is of face centered cubic lattices. Okay, and simply as per your result you have to mention here that the lattice cell parameter that are calculated theoretically from the powder X-ray diffraction pattern for aluminum crystal as a sample, that will be of face centered cubic lattices. Okay, and for this worked example of your XRD pattern related to the aluminum, that will be presented you, or I will posted you over your GCR group, so that you can make calculation, you can verify calculation, and you can understand the importance of XRD pattern. Okay, thank you.